game tomorrow, Tuesday. Can you get the temperature gauge?
Impact do you think fashion has on your culture?
I think fashion has a huge impact in my culture because fashion always changes, and the culture always changes, but fashion seems to change with the culture. But also, fashion tends to mold the culture. So I think that it has a big impact on my culture.
Yes, sir. What made you or what sparked you to want to get into fashion, making clothing, clothes, and I'm sure you do other things besides clothes, but you know, what made you get into the t-shirts, the business that you have now?
I think I wanted to start making clothes and wearing my own clothes because I just couldn't afford the top brand clothes, and for what they were selling the clothes for, I always said to myself, hey, I could design something that look as good as that, so why not try?
And doing a very great job, I must add. Do you think that your fashion or has a different audience? Does you think it will impact, let's say, high school students as opposed to adults? You know, is it a certain type of age that you're going out when you're doing your shirts?
Well, I would say there is no particular age. I think Nappybread would be a brand. I would say I would try to brand this name and make it a household name from all ages, and it would symbolize people who use photography or people who are behind the camera or just.
Hello, Mr. Nappybread. Once again, we want to thank you for your time today and showing us how to print shirts from A to Z. Did a very great job, Mr. Bread. Can you tell us from A to Z, from the beginning to the end, the process if somebody was to do the screen printing for themselves?
Okay, well, first of all, you have to you would start out with a design, and what I'm about to do is walk you through from the design phase all the way to the end product phase. So first, you would start with the design, probably in the software. The software that I use is CorelDRAW 4. Now, after designing your design, you would export that design to your desktop or wherever you put your images to print out. Now, you want to print these images out on a transparency, which is kind of like a sheet of paper that they use for overhead projectors. The image that you print out will be a solid black image. So instead of color, although you're printing in color, the image you print out on the transparency is solid black. So after printing it out, the image, you would then take it to your dark room. Your dark room is where you set up your screen to burn the image into the screen. Now your screen, what you do is into the screen. Everywhere else will be washed out. So after the image is washed out, then you have to go back and dry the screen. Usually that takes about 5 minutes, depending on if it's a rush job or whatever you're doing. You can dry the screen with a hair dryer. So after the screen is dry, you bring your screen to your printing area, then you prep the screen. Prepping the screen, you would have to make sure the screen is dry. You line up the screen on your platen where you would be printing the shirt, and you also put tape around the screen, around the printed area that you're going to print. Any area on the screen that's washed out, ink will go through it and ruin your shirt. You only want ink to go through where your logo or image will be printed onto the product. Now, once the screen is prepared, you then get your platen and you spray it with adhesive. And
3, 2,